Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I watched this one YouTube video and it really inspired me to try to push my limits a little bit further as far as how many things I'm able to cast at once. I've tried this in a couple previous videos, like the bronze crosses, but I haven't really pushed it that far with the investment casting. Now I've gone from like 1 to 2 to 4. 4 is the most that I've been able to do in a single investment cast, but that's also because I haven't been vertically casting as well. The only issue with doing something like this is that I don't have an actual vacuum chamber, whereas I have a vacuum table. So the difference with that is that the vacuum chamber will pull air around the entire perimeter of the cylinder, whereas the vacuum table only draws in air from the bottom of the flask. And the reason this is significant is because if I'm stacking my parts vertically, I need to be able to pull air from all of it at once rather than just the bottom. Okay, we're ready to get these in the kiln. Okay, you can see lots of the wax here, like the wax vents, and then the main sprue here. So we'll take number 4 here. All I really do is just kind of lightly just try to release that main sprue. Okay, I'm going to turn both these to low. That'll get up to about 350. And then I'll be back in about 5 hours. Okay, it's almost 1 in the morning. We're getting ready to turn this up and start raising the temperature. You can see a lot of the steam coming out here as the moisture is being driven out of the molds. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to check the temperature just to see where we're at. Looking like 200-ish. It's a little bit lower than I would like, and it might be because I have that taller flask in there holding a little bit more of the moisture. It's been about 8 hours since we turned up the temperature, and I don't see any smoke coming out, so that's good. Let's go ahead and check these. Looking pretty toasty in here. 1300, 13. The flask in the middle is 1150. The ones on the outside are almost 12. This one's 1130. To me they look pretty dry, so oh, what a mess. It's been a couple months since I've been really out here. I've been on and off kind of out here doing miscellaneous stuff, but I actually haven't like worked out here in a good like 2 months. It's been so damn cold outside. So we're gonna go ahead and get all this cleaned up. I did get my mini fridge in here with my new Keurig. Man, does it feel nice to see the yard again. Birds are super loud today. 52, nice and sunny. Well, partly cloudy. All my buckets are full. Clean up the garage a little bit. Still got some more work on the table to do over there, but most of it's cleaned. Here's the Pokemon. Sadly, a lot of these didn't turn out, but you could see a pretty repeating pattern here. So like you could see on this one, a lot of these didn't even turn out. Like you can't even see any of the Pokemon. Some of the Pokemon did turn out. Like I think there's a few Pikachus at the top here, but basically the bottom two rows are completely dead, and then some of them are salvageable. But a lot of the issues, like the Charmanders here, even at the top, like all of the right arms didn't turn out. I don't know why the right arm, but all of the right arms did not turn out. You can see right here, there's no arms. And then the bottom row is obviously just completely trash. You can see like the Pikachus here don't even have ears and stuff. It's because there's not enough molten metal at the bottom to feed the part. So what happened is, instead of having a feeder here feeding the parts at the top, it took it from the parts over here and fed it into here. So it basically stole the metal from this bottom row and fed these top parts with it. I don't think any of the Cubones turned out. I think some of the Cubones, like, they turned out, but the bone, the weapon that he's holding, did not turn out. And that also sucks too, because I think the Cubone's like a really cool Pokemon. We'll just have to redo all these ones. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with 3 rows of these unless I make them much smaller, because this is like the max height of my flask. Those other ones we're going to cast in a new zinc alloy. So the ones that I cast out there are Nordic Gold. These ones I want to cast in a new alloy called ZA-12, which is mostly a zinc alloy. This is all zinc right here. So you can see I have a substantial amount of it, at least for now. It won't last very long. I'm trying to make use of all this aluminum, so I think ZA-12 would be a good alloy to use. I don't really want to cast pure aluminum because it's not as good quality, not as good pourability, and it's just a lot more finicky. So I'm trying to alloy it with stuff, but I'm running low on a lot. But I do have a lot of zinc. So I have a whole bunch of different ones set up here. I did have to lower the overall height. So what I did was I removed a whole top layer, which you can see like there's a layer right here. And I brought the whole thing down, but I also had to put like a feeder on the bottom. So there wasn't enough molten metal to feed all of the parts, and you can really tell. Some pretty gnarly hail out here. Hanging out. These LED lights are so cool. I got color changing ones as well. Okay, I got all the material weighed out. I got 3 different melts here set up. I did make these a little bit smaller than what I would typically use for a full crucible. So it's about like 3,500 grams instead of like 4,500, just because I don't really want to top off the crucible. I want to try to keep as little metal in there as I can. You can kind of see a difference in the color between the zinc and the aluminum. So like this is the aluminum, a little bit shinier. This is the zinc, a little bit more dull. And then obviously the copper. You can see a big chunk of aluminum right there at the top. Crucible feels perfectly smooth all the way around. You can see some oxides forming on the top here. Trying to thoroughly mix it so that way the aluminum isn't just separating out. But the more you stir, the more gases you also introduce into the molten bath. So you got to be careful of that as well. Swap gloves here because my hand's burning. You can see like a swirling motion. I'm not sure if you could see that on the camera, but there's like almost like a convection current going through the molten bath. And I'm still getting some chunkiness on top here, which tells me that it's probably not all the way mixed just yet.